Welcome to the Bison Coaches Corner. I'm Jeremy Jorgenson. We're here to talk about men's basketball for the Bison, and head coach Saul Phillips joins me on set here, and it was a fantastic weekend for NDSU men's basketball. Two quality opponents coming to the BSA. You get 2 wins, coach. And let's first talk about this Omaha game. Omaha's a good quality team. They're building a nice foundation down there for the future. But this season, they had some nice things on their resume, and I'm sure going into this game, you thought, hey, this could be a toughie.
Oh, no question about it. And I will say this, I want to give the web audience something special today. This is going to be a special show in a lot of ways.
Excellent.
Yeah, UNO's a good team, and they play awfully fast. They go. And our defensive transition had to be very, very good. It was. A lot of respect for what they've done through this transition. You know, you look at teams that have gone through the transition, and I've said it before, I think we've been spoiled in this area a little bit because we've had some teams get through it relatively well. Nationally, it doesn't usually go that way, and they've still got 2 years till they're eligible for the tournament, so they'll be better again next year, and I would expect that Omaha, before too long, will be an upper echelon team in this league. If they're not already, they probably are right now.
Yeah, no question. Let's roll the highlights and we'll break this down and show you some of the plays. Taylor Braun was great. This is a good matchup for the Bison, too, the way Omaha plays, isn't it?
Well, I know this. It's fun to play against them because there's going to be open court opportunities. You see LA with the dunk there, Taylor Braun with a little space to operate. Because they run so much, there's more open court situations. And, you know, you look at LA there, hitting threes. LA has really progressed shooting the ball, and that's opened up a lot of things for all of our players. Now, Mike Felt's never had a hard time shooting the ball. His shot's always been there for him. Good drive by Taylor Braun. Taylor's a really difficult matchup at 6'7", and when you're trying to guard him with guards that are 6'3", 6'2", 6'1", that's a significant height difference. And the neat thing about it is for us is that he really doesn't give up any speed. I'm glad I don't have to guard Taylor Braun. I'm glad I get to coach him.
Yeah, me too. 91-69 is the final score there. And, Coach, I thought the key in this game was you got on him early, never really gave him a chance. You really had him at arm's length the whole game. I
really thought our energy, you know, I'll say this, too. It was a horrible day out weather-wise. Go figure, North Dakota in January, right? 50-mile-an-hour winds. We tethered Trayvon down so he didn't blow away at one point. It was a situation where it could have been a lifeless, dull building. Yeah. And we had a good crowd, particularly our students. We had a good crowd overall, and they were loud and they were a factor. And it was a fun game to watch. A lot of dunks, a lot of block shots. We fell one block shot shy of a school record, in fact. So a lot of bodies flying around. I thought our energy was great. I thought we fed off the crowd really well. And it was just a fun game to be a part of.
Now, speaking of that, a great crowd moving to Saturday now against Western Illinois, the biggest of the year, and total different style of play. Western Illinois, you go from Omaha, who's up and down, it's a track meet, and then Western Illinois wants to slow it down. They want the game in the 50s or 60s. And so talk about that transition from from Thursday to Saturday as we roll the highlights from this game.
It's like sprinting on a track with the perfect conditions and then hitting some sand or some mud. I mean, that's what it's like. And Coach Molinari is really, really good. Covington's a great freshman right there. We got mixed up in a switch there. Marshall and Trey bumped into each other. We weren't able to close out, and that's a bad mistake. Nice dish there. Chris Kading was a very good spark for us off the bench. Good block by Chris coming over from the weak side. He's so athletic. He's just scratching the surface of what he can do. Mike Felt hit another 3. Get used to it. He does it a lot.
Covington, talk about his game and how they got him to Western.
You know, I'm not sure what the story is. All I know is that it's going to be dealing with him for 3 more years. He's doesn't play outside of his capabilities, just a very good player. Trayvon with a block. Wow. He is so long. I mean, so long.
Yeah, talk about Marshall was in foul trouble, but you managed his minutes great, and he was a factor late in the game because of the fact that you managed those fouls well.
Well, I made a decision that I didn't want him fouled out late in the game, so I sat him a little longer than I normally sit a big in that situation. And one of the reasons I was able to do it is Jordan Auberg's playing extremely well, and Chris Kading's playing extremely well. We're lucky to have depth in the interior. It's rare to have a good center in the Summit League, and we feel like we've got 3 very good ones.
I sense, too, that Western Illinois, Jim Molinari is a good coach. They're going to be a tough out in Sioux Falls, aren't they?
They're never fun to play against. I'm telling you, and I say that with all the respect in the world.
Absolutely.
Jim's one of my favorite coaches in the league.
Yeah.
He is unbelievable at what he does. Their style of play is going to keep them in every game they play, and they'll make noise throughout the regular season, and they're one of those teams that if they're your first draw down in Sioux Falls, it seems like we bump into them in Sioux Falls every year now, but if you bump into them in Sioux Falls, it's hard to feel good after you play Western Illinois. They expose flaws, and it's hard to walk out of that game going, boy, we're world beaters.
Hey, buckle up here now. It's the Jackrabbits down in Brookings. And as we look around the league, one of the surprises this weekend was the fact that Omaha, after Thursday, turned around and went down and won in Brookings. So tell us a little bit about where South Dakota State is at right now.
Well, UNO was not a great matchup for South Dakota State, just their personnel. UNO spreads you out and drives, and South Dakota State is now an interior-based team. They pound you inside. I've seen a lot of South Dakota State because being travel partners with them, I'll watch their game against our next opponent all the time. And I can't tell you how many times I've said, wow, they just pounded them on the interior. That's how they won the game. So they've got a transfer from Florida, Cody Larson, that was a top 100 kid coming out of high school. Jordan Dykstra, who we know very well at this point, has just gotten better and better and better, and he's gotten to be a force down in the blocks, not just a three-point shooter. And they've got a guard named Braden Carlson who, boy, if you voted today, it'd be hard to keep him off the first team all-conference ballot. So they've got some pieces. They're integrating some new people, including Larson, the center from Florida, but good team, well coached. Games with them are always fun. It's always a blast to have that kind of competition, and strap it up and see what goes on.
You betcha. And as you look at the schedule, the way it has played out, this 3-game stretch coming up is a big deal and could go a long ways in deciding the conference. You have 3 straight road games at South Dakota State, at South Dakota, at Denver. South Dakota's undefeated right now, so tell us a little bit about them maybe.
Well, you look at it, and with the next 3 road games we play, if you can get through a couple or all 3 of these, the schedule flips and you're really sitting in a good spot going down the stretch. It's way too early to talk must-win games. I mean, way too early.
Oh, yeah.
You just try to win the next one. But you can see how this plays out, where we've got a chance to build some momentum down the stretch, and where we're sitting going into that stretch is going to determine how this pans out for us.
Well, there's lots of home games on the back half of that schedule, no question. Well, media-wise for this game, it's Fox College Sports. It's Midcoast Sports Network as well, 790 KFGO with Scott Miller. There's plenty of opportunity to watch and listen to this game. And also, if you want to drive down to Brookings, certainly love to have some NDSU people in the hostile environment, right?
Love to see some green down there, no question about that. There'll be enough people yelling at me. I'd like some people yelling for me.
Hey, good luck, Saul. It's a big week, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, the Bison against South Dakota State. We will recap it next week on the Coach's Corner. Have a great week.